Joining me now, Miami and South Florida racing legend and worldwide racing legend, Darrell Gwynn is with us. Darrell, welcome to the show. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Joe. It's a pleasure to be here in Gainesville. You know, this is my hometown race, and it feels just like being home.
And, well, it is. This is home for you. Now, back-to-back wins, 1989, 1990. You were dominating this racetrack, and to win like that on your home track, I remember the victory lane pictures. It was spilling outside the frame, put it that way. You had that many people in your winner circle pictures.
It's all my high school buddies that come up here to get a chance to see us race, you know, on the NHRA Tour. This was the only time we'd race in Florida, so it meant a lot to us to come home to our home state and race. And, you know, back then we were very competitive, and it meant a lot for us to do very well in our home state. And I think we partied till like 2 in the morning that night.
Well, that's it? Just 2 in the morning only. Darrell Gwynn is with us. For those of you listening on the South Florida Radio Network, Darrell's a Miami guy, tried and true Miami guy, and when it comes to drag racing, just because of our location, it's a little tough. Everywhere you go, everywhere you guys travel, you have to drive the 7-8 hours just to get out of Florida. That's extra effort compared to everybody else in the country.
Yeah, when you're in South Florida, it seems like forever to get to a great racetrack like Gainesville Raceway here. But we've got so many great memories here. You know, and of course, this weekend we've got a lot of great stuff going on that I'm sure you're going to ask me about.
Oh, I am. I've got it all ready to go because yesterday, that was an emotional day. The Kalitta team running a replica car of the car that you won in 1990, the Coors Extra Gold car. Beautiful car. And Doug Kalitta, who will hopefully be joining us very soon, on his way into the racetrack right now, will be driving that car. How did that deal come together to pay tribute? And I know that you guys built a replica of that car that has been bought and sold and generated a lot of money through Barrett Jackson for charity, for your charity, your foundation.
Yes, it has, but how this all got started is, I think, to sum it up, is Connie Kalitta is just one hell of a guy. And for his team to do what they did this weekend to kind of commemorate my 20th anniversary just speaks a lot about Connie Kalitta and his family. You know, of course, we go back a long time. Of course, my dad's been racing since the 50s and 60s, and so has Connie. And, you know, of course, my Top Fuel days, I raced Connie a lot. So, you know, it's a big family out here, and we know these guys. But I can never remember in my history out here in the sport that another team has paid tribute to another competitor like that. So, you know, as much as this is about the Darrell Gwynn Foundation this weekend and the awareness, it's also about what a great guy Connie Kalitta is for doing what they're doing this weekend in front of my home state.
See how many people they get in here, and hopefully the cars will be running good.
I'm sure they will. And speaking of cars running well, you guys have started off the season extremely strong.
Yeah, you know, making it to the final, we're obviously hoping to get the win, and you know, ended up second at the first two. So it's a good start for us, and just happy to be back out here trying to make it to another final and hopefully get the win here.
I'd like your perspective on this. We were just speaking with Darrell Gwynn and Doug Kalitta joining us here on WFO Radio. This tribute to the Coors Extra Gold car and the career of Darrell Gwynn, how it came together. I'd like you, we were talking about Connie, obviously. I'd like your opinion, obviously coming up a racing fan, used to drive World of Outlaws, having your eye on drag racing, now been involved in drag racing for the majority of your career. When Darrell was running, where were you and how were you keeping your eye on drag racing, and what did you think about when seeing that Coors Extra Gold car and the dominance it had, especially here at Gainesville?
Yeah, the car looks great here this weekend, and you know, I actually never raced against Darrell, but Connie Kalitta, my uncle, he ran against Darrell quite a bit, I think, and I think Darrell was kidding him up there. And last night they were talking about a little bit.
5-1.
Yeah, I think Darrell used to
5-1. Darrell's keeping that a secret this weekend because it's such a nice gesture. But
yeah,
facts are the facts.
But no, they, you know, obviously have been out here drag racing for a lot of years. Darrell's family and my family, and you know, it's just really special that you know, we have the opportunity to work together after all these years with this car. And obviously, Darrell had a lot of success with that car, and you know, we're hoping some of that rubs off here for us this weekend. But you know, just real excited. Darrell, you know, was always somebody that you know, when I got involved in drag racing, you know, was just one of the guys that were the guys to beat. You know, Darrell and his family, and you know, one of my heroes growing up. not being involved in drag racing, back when I was running the sprint cars and stuff, he was always somebody making the headlines. So it's a great honor for us to run that car this weekend, and I just hope we do them proud.
Gainesville Raceway getting ready for the 41st Tire Kingdom Gatornationals. It's doing something kind of cool tomorrow morning. The Darrell Gwynn Foundation is going to be hosting a track walk for those who can't. Fans are going to be able to get up close and personal with yourself, Darrell, and other stars of the NHRA. I know you got a lot of guys signed on for that. Track walks, it requires a donation of $20, but this allows people to get down and see the racetrack. It's something we see in a lot of other motorsports, and doing it here in drag racing now. I think that's great.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. They're going to be able to intermingle with the drivers. Of course, Doug's going to be there, and Corey Mack and Brandon Bernstein, and a lot of funny car drivers, Ashley Force. And also yesterday we signed up Kurt Busch and Scott Speed from the NASCAR world. So they're used to doing those track walks because that's kind of where we got the idea from. But it'll give you a unique perspective for the fans to be able to, see what it's like going on the racetrack. Not quite at those speeds, but it's going to be cool.
Ty, those question. What about the people from Coors? Are they aware of this? Do they know about this? Are they up to speed on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, Pete Coors was with us at Barrett-Jackson when we sold the replica car, and him and I kind of agreed on, in principle, what we were going to do here in Gainesville, and that's kind of how it took off from there, And the Coors people, Coors Extra Gold brand is a kind of a regional brand. But at the end of the day, it's still a Coors brand, and it's not as popular as it used to be back when we were flying their colors. They were really promoting it real heavy. But
when the car hits 300, do the mountains turn blue?
Absolutely.
Well, it is great to see it out there. And you mentioned that replica car. Nearly $500,000 has been raised with that thing. You guys built that? You just put together the replica? Obviously, I was down looking at it. It's really nice, and you seem to be selling it, and it keeps coming back.
Well, we hope that continues.
Yeah.
But out in Scottsdale at Barrett-Jackson, we sold the car at the auction out there. The guy bought it for $200,000, gave it back to us right while I was sitting on stage, and another guy bought it for $100 and gave it back to us. Another guy bought it for $110 and gave it back to us. So here it is. And Joe Riley was the last guy to buy it, and he gave it back to us here, and we've got it out here on display at the Gatornationals, and we've raised over $410,000 worth of it. We figured, you know what, that's probably one of the most expensive top fuel dragsters there ever was. We're going to bring it up here and put it on display and try and race some more.
I love it, and the pressure is on now. Imagine the guy who comes along and buys it and then just keeps it. Yeah,
right.
It's like everybody gives it back, and he's like, I'm keeping this back.
We never envisioned that car would raise that kind of money, and it's just a great thing that we've got the support for the foundation like that. And if anybody, obviously a lot of people can't afford hundreds of thousands of dollars to support the Darrell Gwynn Foundation, but you can text on your phone to text DGF 50555 on your cell phone, and you can send a one-time donation of $5.
I did that yesterday, and just so everybody knows, they will text you back to confirm that you want to do it. Like you text, then they text you back, text yes to confirm your donation. So don't freak out if you get a text back. That's just a confirmation. Darrell, always appreciate catching up with you. As a young bracket racer in South Florida, our hero, our benchmark, the guy we looked up to, the guy that every kid running around racing Sportsman or a truck or doing whatever wanted to be was Darrell Gwynn. Darrell was our guy. He was going out to these national events, whatever it was. We wanted to see Darrell do well. And he always did South Florida very, very proud. And now, Doug, you are doing the same.
All right. Well,
I appreciate it. Best of luck this weekend. Darrell, thank you very much. I love catching up with you, man.
You bet, Joe. Thank you, man.
Congratulations on this whole deal.
Appreciate it.
Excellent. Darrell, Gwynn, Doug Kalitta with us here on WFO Radio as we are just getting started.